This is McCook's Mr. Bill. It is an honor to have you here. We just got through one difficult storm, to say the least. Wind chill max down here at McCook was around 41 below wind chill. That's getting pretty chilly, I'm here to tell you. And on up on the northern part of Nebraska, it was 50 below. Yeah, that was some deadly temperatures. And the wind was upwards of 50 miles an hour, and sub-zero temperatures did that. And it wasn't over quickly either. It really did a number without question. Yeah. And the first time ever I saw pipes freeze in my house because the wind came at the right direction to hit that sink in the kitchen. And I had to thaw that out with a hairdryer, and we did without any other trouble. Be that as it may, and it has been a very difficult storm. But how about a history of storms in Nebraska? Well, my grandmother, born just on the border on the Kansas side, down here about 30 miles, they talked about that she was born in 1888. And that was the storm that came through, winter storm that came through, and they called it the school children's storm, because a lot of school children going home from school got caught in that blizzard, and they died. Yeah, and they also talked about that year, just one ranch lost 100,000 head of cattle to that storm. Yeah, now that is a terrible loss without question. And it snowed in so bad that the trains were all clogged up. They didn't have modern machinery to fight them. It was a nightmare for the people. Absolutely. That was 1888. And again, my grandmother was born that year. Her parents talked about it. She and my parents talked about the worst storm they ever remembered was in 1949. 1949 here in Nebraska, western Nebraska. And just storm after storm, just terrible weather. And thousands upon thousands of cattle died, absolutely. And the trains were again locked down, couldn't go anywhere because of the snow drifts. And then we had, let's see, it was 1973, 74, when we got married in 73, that coming winter, it snowed every weekend and was just absolute nightmare, terrible cold weather, a lot of zero and beyond depth temperatures are just devastating, absolutely. And of course in 75 was another bad year, 75. And then of course we don't want to forget the winter, early winter. It was a Halloween blizzard here in southwest Nebraska that was a nightmare. I said a nightmare, you bet. And then 97 was another bad year. Since then, we haven't had too many disasters in snows. In many years, we've had really mellow years, for the snowfall and the terrible weather, and we're grateful. If it's global warming, we were kind of happy with it, But you never know what's going to be out there, and what's going to hit you out here. And again, Nebraska is closer to a desert than it ever is a rainforest, no question about that. And it doesn't have to even be storms. They talk about people in Nebraska starving to death because the grasshopper plague came in and just wiped out the crops. They had nothing to eat. People starved to death in Nebraska. It seems impossible, but it happened, and it might happen again with plague, with hoppers, or with a blizzard. Be prepared.